Good morning. I have a short but sweet workout for you today. You are going to be doing 4 rounds, 10 per leg, single leg deadlifts, 20 dead bugs, 30 kettlebell swings, and 40 love taps. And then you're going to repeat that. You're going to go through it 4 times, and then after you're done with that, you're going to rest as long as needed, and then you're going to do a max plank hold. So I'm going to go through all of these movements and demo them for you now. The only equipment you're going to need today, kettlebell. I have a sandbag kettlebell, so yours is likely to look different, but that's okay. So your first movement is your single leg deadlift. So for the single leg deadlift, we're going to be using opposite arm, opposite leg. So I'm going to start with my right leg planted, kettlebell just ahead of that foot, and I'm going to lift up the other foot off the ground. So working on a little bit of balance here. I'm going to have a slight bend in this leg and hinge at the hips to bend over. I'm going to keep a flat back. I'm going to grab that kettlebell and I'm going to use my butt, squeeze to stand up tall. All right? Down, stand up tall. I'm going to focus on keeping that heel in the ground. You also want to think about keeping that big toe planted to the ground. That's really going to help with our running. This is really good for your glutes, but also a really good running movement. So you're going to do 10 on this side, and then I'll turn to the side so you can see. You're going to just switch to the opposite leg planted, opposite arm. Same thing, slight bend in the knee. Bring that opposite leg up. Hinge at the hip, flat back. 1. Really think about tightening those glutes as you stand, driving your heel into the ground. That's really going to help glute muscles and with a lot of balance. The next movement is your dead bugs. So you're going to lie on the ground. You're going to use your abs, tighten your abs to help press your back into the ground. You want your back to be touching the ground the entire time. You don't want to let those abs loosen up so that you have any kind of space in between your back and ground. You kind of want to be able to not get a hand in there. Your legs are going to be up parallel to the ground. Hands are going to be pointing straight in the air. This one again is going to be opposite arm, opposite leg. You're going to send, I'm going to send my right arm back over my head and my left leg forward until they're parallel with the ground. And I'm going to come back up, opposite side. Each side is 1, so that was 2, 3, 4. Remember to keep that core tight so your back stays in contact with the ground. And just keep moving through that until you get to 20 reps. None of these movements should be done for speed. They should all be done for quality, okay? We're not moving fast through any of this. So your next movement is kettlebell swing. I'm using a sandbag kettlebell, so it's going to look a little bit different, but movement's the same. It's just you're going to notice I have to have a little bit more control because my weight bounces around. You don't have to worry about that. So when you see kettlebell swings programs, you will see sometimes Russian kettlebell swings, sometimes American kettlebell swings. Russian kettlebell swings, you swing up eye level. American would be all the way overhead. Don't even worry about American kettlebell swings. Most of the time, I'm not going to be doing this. So you're going to set up like a deadlift, just feet just outside your hips, maybe toes slightly pointed out because you want to have that space in between your thighs to bring the kettlebell back. You're going to, there's a couple different ways to do this. You're going to either stand up in a deadlift and then hinge and swing back and then forward. Or you can set the, back up a little bit. You can set the bell a little bit ahead of you so that you have to reach out for it a little bit. Then you would reach out and just immediately start into that swing. So pull it straight back and up, back and up. What I really want you to think about is that hip hinge and then driving forward with your hips and squeezing your glutes and keeping a neutral gaze. So don't head up or down. Keep your gaze neutral, and as you're moving through this, really tighten that foot as you're coming up. So bringing your hands to eye level and back. And we do that 30 times. And then your last movement for this, you're gonna be needing this kettlebell again. You're gonna put it out in front of you. You're gonna sit back with the hands right outside your hips. And you are going to determine how hard this is gonna be by how close you are to that kettlebell. So really close to that kettlebell is gonna be pretty easy. You're just gonna be going back. You want to make sure that you're moving just your legs and you're not rotating your entire body, because that's not really doing anything. That's just swiveling your butt around. So I'm going to move a little bit further back. You can go all the way back so your legs are almost straight. Make it a little harder. That's a little bit too difficult for me today. So you're just gonna start. Remember, your rotation is from your hips. You're not swiveling your butt. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on. Back and forth, love taps until you get up to 40, right? Once you get through that, do it again, and then do it 2 more times until you've got through all of that 4 times. Then you're gonna rest. You're gonna rest as long as you need to. I don't care if you rest for 1 minute or 5. Then you're gonna do your max plank hold. So there's 2 different options for plank hold. You probably know what they are. First is on your hands, legs out. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see. I want you to think about keeping your butt down. So you'll see sometimes in the plank, you come up like this because that's a little bit easier. I want you to really have a straight line. Think about squeezing those glutes. Also squeezing your quads. That's really gonna help you get a lot further rather than having everything loose. As long as you squeeze everything, have it engaged, that's gonna help maximize your time. If you don't wanna do on your hands, I like to do on my elbows, so that's my preference. Same thing. Legs back, butt down, squeeze those glutes. Stay there as long as you can. I want you to time this, and I want you to keep track of it because we're gonna keep working on a lot of core stuff, and down the line, we're gonna compare how long we can max plank hold, and you'll be surprised how much time you can add to that. All right, I think I've gone through everything you need to know for your workout today. It should take you about 15 to 20 minutes to get through the first half, and then we'll see how long you can hold the plank. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a good day.